Hello everybody, welcome to the American Horror Story Freak Show, episode 7, episode Test of Strength. We're gonna read the description they give you when you info it on your TV. The women rally against Dell, meanwhile Jimmy has a strange encounter with Dandy. I thought that kid's name was Dandy, my bad. So the rich kid's name is Dandy. Um, this was like an emotionally driven episode. Um, Last episode ended with Jimmy ending up at Nandy's house. He seen about the twins. It opens with him seeing the twins and Beth. I think her name is Beth or Beth. I think it's Beth because um, Elsa's accent, but it might be Dot and Beth, but I think it's Dot and Beth. But whichever it is. Um, she's happy there. Dandy told them that he saved or the from the killer clown, that Jimmy was unconscious. So that lie. Uh, Jimmy had a flashback because Dandy had the clown mask on, and he kind of recognized his voice. Because how else would he have been there? Um, then Stanley or Richard, which is the con man, the gay con man, um, notices Del, the strong man, who was they were at the same gay bar slash whorehouse, um, because they're both gay or at least bisexual, and he shows up at the freak show trying to do the strongman gimmick where you hit the hammer with the bell and see how high you get it. He basically blackmails Dell into killing a freak for him, or else he's gonna give everybody secret. And rule number one of blackmail is always have a witness. Maggie witnessed all of it. So he's blackmailing him. He tries to get Amazon Eve, which up to this point was kind of a hidden character. She's a big, tall, um, not very masculine looking, but really big, tall chick that looks fit. Um, like white shoulders and everything. So he tries to give her the old chloroform. Does this rag smell like chloroform to you trick? She ends up punching him and hits him with a couple things, kicks him out, and then says, "Who's the strong man now?" and slams the door on him. Then the women conspire against him because, hey, we're freaks and uh, you hurt one of ours, we're gonna take care of you, because that's kind of how justice works in the world for freaks, at least. Um, so Jimmy says, "I'll take care of it," to his mom, who's this lady. I forget her name. Um, they end up going to the bar and getting shit faced. Pardon my language. Um, they get wasted off vodka or gin, some kind of clear liquid. Um, and they're having a talk in the bar, and they had a moment where Dell makes Jimmy takes his gloves off, and because he has those like penguin flipper hand glove things where there's like the Christmas style ones where it's just the thumb and then this is all one. He had trouble with the bottle and then took it off real quick and put it back on after he poured another shot. Um, and Dell tells him, "If anybody gives you a look, I'll smash your skull in." And then he makes a joke unless it's a girl, because Amazon Eve kicked the shit out of him. Um, then Jimmy takes another shot and says, "Excuse me, I don't feel so good," and runs outside, throws up, starts crying. He gets into about how he always knew that Dell was his father, even though his could tell because mom hated him. Um, some old timers were telling him about his family bloodline with the lobster hands. Don't know why he didn't get him, but he's his father, and he makes him admit it. And then they go to commercial, and then they come back. They're walking to the freak show area, and they're arm in arm singing the song, their family song. Elsa says, "Congratulations. Now shut up before you took you 24 years to admit that. Now be quiet before you wake everybody up." The three best of women, just too late, and she's talking to him. Uh, Dell puts Jimmy to bed, and Jimmy says, "I'm gonna say something I haven't said in my whole life," and he says, "Good night, Dad." Um, and that's the end of that. That's kind of touching, though. If you have issues with your own father or don't know your dad or anything like that, it's a pretty emotional driven episode. Three-breasted woman and the bearded lady go to the doctor, where the doctor that would help freaks. Um, he killed himself after Dell threatened him and broke his fingers. His daughter's there. Turns out she's the daughter that is like the black sheep of the family, and she screams, "Get out of here, freaks!" before I call the cops, because she thinks that they killed him. Because the second accident, he broke his fingers and broke his hands with a hammer, and then shot himself. So she thinks it was because he was helping freaks. Um, so before that, Jimmy brought the twins back, and he calls Elsa a liar. She doesn't put him on the wheel, but the two-headed woman, um, say he misunderstood or misheard the story they wanted to experience. They basically backed Elsa and said it was their idea. They ran off. They wanted that she didn't sell them to Dandy and his mother. Um, you find out later why. Beth wants to be a comedian. She wants to dye her hair blonde. Um, they want 50% of the revenue coming in. She agrees. They did a really cool thing where Elsa wrote Dot a letter talking about how she was quiet and what did she want out of this. And she says, but when they did that, it goes to her face. So it's like her face over here, and then Elsa's face would be here, but in black and white, and she's reading the letter. So I thought that was pretty neat. Um, Dot writes her letter about how she wants 50% to get a surgery, so they'll make her one person. Um, she gets the sweet pinhead girl, who's one of my favorite characters. I loved her in Asylum. Um, she gives her the letter. They do the same thing. Talks about does a split screen and how she wants the surgery. Um, um, Sorry for that pause. My brain is not working. So then it goes to Elsa having dinner with Stanley or Richard. The gay comment about how the twins are back and this and that, and they're having dinner. And basically, he says, "Oh, what about like a assisted suicide? Take them out of their misery." Um, so basically, he's kind of like, "Oh, what if?" He's working the con on her, and she's like, "Oh, I heard managers who would kill for their client. I guess I found one." And the bearded lady hears this because she's bringing in dessert for them. Sorry about this light. I can't do anything. The sun's at a weird spot at this time of day. Then it goes to Penny, uh, who is the woman who was having an affair with Paul, also known as Steel Boy. She goes home, talks about how she's gonna tell how terrible her father was, and to the world she's just here to get some stuff and go back and live with Paul for the rest of her life. He does the chloroform trick on her, kinda. They didn't show how he knocked her unconscious, but he brought in an artist who is a tattoo artist actually, with his face tattooed and everything, and he tattoos scales and lizard. Basically, he made her look like a lizard in the face, and forked her tongue, so now she looks like a reptile. Um, she wakes up and goes into Paul's room like that actually, and Paul takes the blame for it and gives her a hug and says, "It's not my fault." And then it goes. This part was really sad actually. It goes to Dale the strong man sneaking into the smallest room in the world's tent. The little Indian lady. He gave her a dress. Um, and then she went to give him a hug, like thank you, because he called her gorgeous and everything. And he squeezed the life out of her. You could hear her little muffled screams. And it ends with the museum lady giving a toast, and she pulls the thing off, and it's her in the preservative tube thing. Really sad episode, like shit, goddamn. So come back tomorrow for I'll do 2 reviews, one in the or recap, one in the day for the next episode, and then one in the night after the new episodes air. I will be all caught up and we'll be back on track to the end of this bad boy. Subscribe, hit the like button, do all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching.